Welcome back, everybody, to the daily Vivaldi edit, and with me, Adrian Chandler, my luscious locks, in lockdown here, raising money for the musicians of La Serenissima who've lost all their work due to COVID-19. Those of you that have heard this a million times before, sorry about that, but there's always a new person round the corner, you never know. Anyway, look what the postman brought this morning. That is the only set of Vivaldi that I didn't have. Shame on me, the Opus 11. So I will now be able to do all the Opus 11, brilliantly produced, there you go. Lots of notes. And also one of my favourite concertos, no pun intended, being Il Favorito, the favourite. There you go. Anyway, talking about the post horns in the 18th century were a very, very primitive instrument. They were generally centred on B flat and would play very sort of fast calls to alert people to the arrival or the departure of the post of the mail coach, or sort of to alert people en route to get out the way because they're coming through at a cracking speed. Obviously Vivaldi, in all his travels around Italy and Germany, southern Germany, Austria, obviously came across a few of these instruments and decided it would be good fun to write a post horn concerto, not for post horn, but for violin in the manner of the post horn. And it's funny, isn't it? Given that all the post horns around that period are centred on B flat, what key is his concerto in? It's in B flat major. There you go. And there's certain similarities to the Capture concerto that precedes this in the Riom catalogue. Though it's interesting that Vivaldi makes the calls, the horn calls, in a much more primitive style. Here you go. Here's a blast of the opening Originale. So there you go. That is basically what pretty much all the post horn could do right at the beginning of the 18th century. As the 18th century sort of progressed. It's the first day of the week, you know. As the 18th century progressed, the post horn was modified a little bit, so composers like Haydn, Mozart used it occasionally, and those parts were a little bit more adventurous. But yeah, the one that Vivaldi would have heard would have been pretty much B flats, and that's about it. Obviously, if Vivaldi was to write a whole concerto just using B flats, it might get a bit boring. So you kind of have to suspend your belief. But I mean, if you look at the first solo, so the first solo is all your. Obviously, the post horn cannot do double stops. I'm sure you've worked that out for yourselves. It's a brilliant. I mean, this is quite interesting. The manuscripts of Eisen Dresden and would have been played. Obviously, a concerto that would have been in Pisandel's repertoire. This is quite interesting. This slur across here that suggests that Vivaldi expects sort of slurred up bow staccato on those notes. In talking about virtuosity, although this isn't, I mean, there are moments in this that are tricky. It's by no means one of his hardest concertos, but there is another source for this concerto that survives the only part that survives is the solo violin part, and it survives as part of the collection of solo violin parts that used to belong to Anna Maria of the Pietà, the virtuoso violinist who was Vivaldi's pupil there, and indeed once she'd sort of given up taking the post of leader of the orchestra at the Pietà, she then sort of retired to sort of behind the scenes and then taught the younger girls that were coming through. So obviously, if this concerto was in her repertoire as well, it was obviously something that was deemed worthy. It's a cracking piece. I mean, it's almost sort of Hogarthian in its outlook, and then you get this most incredibly beautiful slow movement. I don't quite know what Postman Plod's getting up to in this one, but it's oh, one sec. That's kind of how it goes on, but there's it's a really nice little duets as well with the continuo. It's almost not very Vivaldian, I would say. And then in the last movement, Postman Plod's back in his mail coach. He's had 15 pints at the local hostelry, and the mail's going to continue on its way. And it's just a sort of typical sort of Vivaldian. Hold on, what's happening? So that's too fast. Sorry, technical hitch, folks. Maybe it was 48, not 68 that I did out. Try that. So again, the bop 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 beep bop. So there you go, and then you get more sort of imitations on the post horn. And there's one bit in particular in the first movement actually that I particularly like, which is I think an incredibly successful imitation of the sort of the post horn call, where it's in bar 41. Here we go. Well, if you look at how Vivaldi's, it's double stopping and it's mainly on D's, but the rhythm is dun da da dun da da dun da da dun. But in between the fourth semiquaver of the beat and the following beat, he's put a slur, so you get da 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 ya da 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 da, which is very very post horn like, and I particularly like it with dum da da dum da da dum da da dum, which is sort of the horse's hooves in the bass part. Yeah, it sounds great on Sibelius, doesn't it? I suppose we'll have to go and record that one at some point. I think it's a brilliant piece. It makes me smile every time. I think it's going to get a 9.5 because it's a bit of a giggle, this one. So yeah. Anyway, tomorrow we are going to have a look at Concerto in B minor, RV 387, and I also think this week we will start, in addition to the violin concertos, looking at the cello concertos, because I think that given that the cello is the other string instrument that he sort of specialised in. I mean, we'll leave the viola d'amore aside for the time being. It'd be interesting to sort of compare and contrast how he sort of looks at the cello and looks at the violin. See what the similarities are, see what the differences are. So there you go. All to come later this week. See you tomorrow. Bye.